Imagine brushing away centuries of dark earth, only to find a cold bronze face staring back at you. These commanding features belong to Augustus, the first Roman emperor. He controlled a military machine so disciplined and effective that it was rapidly absorbing every territory it touched. The standard rule of the era was simple. When Roman legions marched, local nations collapsed. Rulers either bowed or they were removed from history entirely. But this artifact wasn't found in a Roman forum. It was discovered deep in Africa, south of Egypt, in the ancient Kingdom of Kush, the land we now call Sudan. Leading this kingdom was Queen Amanirenas. She was a guardian of her people, governing with a willpower that would be tested by the most powerful empire on earth. Finding the ruler of the known world buried under the sandals of a kingdom he failed to conquer changes the map. It marks the exact spot where the Roman war machine met a force it could not break. Rome had just conquered Egypt, placing its veteran armies directly on Kush's northern border. Roman ambition was simple: more land, more control. With Egypt secured, the legions naturally turned their gaze south, following the Nile toward the heart of Kushite territory. For most rulers of the period, the arrival of Roman troops signaled a quick surrender to avoid total destruction. Amanirenas made a different choice. Instead of retreating or kneeling, she organized her people to face the threat directly. This wasn't a dispute over borders. It was a refusal to let her people become another name listed in a Roman victory parade. The war arrived like a storm. The ground shook under the march of iron-clad Roman boots, bringing a wave of disciplined violence toward Kushite cities. The Roman strike was devastating. Major centers, like the city of Napata, were reduced to the stone foundations we see here today. Fear and loss spread throughout the kingdom as Rome delivered its message. Resistance is useless against the empire. But Amanirenas stood in the center of the danger. Even as her cities burned, she did not break under the pressure. These carvings represent the cultural identity Amanirenas was defending. She carried the weight of a people who refused to let their sovereignty vanish. She continued to fight not because the Romans were weak, but because survival against impossible odds was the only path left. Her resistance transformed a quick conquest into a grueling conflict that drained Roman resources and patience. Eventually, the momentum shifted. The Roman war machine was forced to a standstill, unable to push any further south. A peace agreement followed. Rome maintained its presence in the north, but Kush kept its independence. It remained unconquered. This outcome secured Amanirenas' legacy. She didn't have to destroy Rome. She only had to deny them the victory they expected. The Kushites took the severed bronze head of Augustus and buried it deep beneath the steps of a temple, sealing it in darkness. Every footfall of every citizen entering this sacred space in Meroe landed directly on the face of the man who claimed to own the world. This artifact was a permanent message carved into the landscape. African sovereignty would not yield to imperial pride. The strength of an empire is often measured by its borders, but in the sands of Meroe, Amanirenas left a reminder that the power to say no can be just as enduring as the power to conquer.